Hey Wastelanders, this is Gary from The Last Ranger, and today's video is going to be, I got tagged by Edgy American. His name is Shane. You probably know him better than me. So he tagged me in a video a few days ago. I've been meaning to answer this tag, but I didn't get around to it because my phone was full. So, and he tagged me. I think someone tagged him, and then he tagged me for Sentimental knives. What sentimental knives that you have? You know, and I think I've done this before. I don't remember if I've included the same knives. I'm pretty sure I included one of the knives you've seen, and maybe two of them. I bought a knife about over 3 years ago, and it wasn't at first sentimental to me, but it's become sentimental to me because I bought this knife for this channel, and I wanted to buy an American knife, and I was the first expensive American knife I ever bought for this channel. It cost me $300, but I carry it like every day. I've probably carried it every day for 3 years, and I don't talk about it a lot. So let me show you this knife. This is the Kershaw 0308, the 308 I like to call it. And this was the original release version of this one. When it came out, it was in like a tan G10, and the opposite sides is titanium. So you can see, I don't know if the numbering means anything. It's in CPM 20CV. It has a serial number. It's 0132, and I don't actually know if this is like the numbering system. Is this the 132 number knife from whatever? I really don't know. But this is an in-house design, and it was made in America. I don't think they this is basically a Kershaw, but it's under the moniker ZT Knives. It says USA, but I think a lot of Kershaws, when they make them in the USA, they have a United States flag on it, but the ZTs don't, unless they do now. I have a few not ZTs. I have a few Kershaw knives that, I have a whole series of knockouts. I'm very fond of the Kershaw Knockout, and when I started buying them, I think the first four I bought didn't have the US flag on it. They said USA, but later they started releasing every one of them with a flag. So I have some knockouts that don't have the flag on it. So anyway, so this is kind of I would rate this as I'm going to say third place sentimental knife. This knife just appealed to me. I think it captured. I really love the pivot design, and I believe this knife is on bearings. I think I've taken it apart once, but that was a long time ago. I haven't seen the insides of this almost 3 years. So I haven't had to sharpen it because, frankly, I carry it with me a lot, but I don't use it a lot. I have it, I carry a bag, a shoulder bag, with my pew in it, and then I have this 0308 as a backup knife. I'm always carrying like other pocket knives, but I always want to have like a heavy duty backup knife, and just in case I don't know, I need it. And I believe this is the 0308 is probably an overbuilt heavy duty knife for me. So yeah, I carry it every day, but I really don't like use it that much. Occasionally I'll carry, this gets a pocket time carry, and I like the lanyard hanging outside my pocket. I once took it into the post office, and I remember everyone was staring at it. I kind of forgot that this lanyard was out there, and once everybody started staring at it, I quickly tuck this shell in back into my pocket. So I don't like the post office. That's probably not the right place to sport something like this. So anyway, this is a knife that I carry often, and but I don't like get much use out of it because it's always as a kind of a backup knife. So, but it's sentimental. I bought it because my everyday carry was this knife, the Kershaw Knockout. This was my everyday carry for more than 10 years. I don't even know how long. It was more than 10 years probably. This was my this was my replacement for this. So this is a kind of a sentimental knife. I really enjoy Kershaw knives. I know a lot of people really don't like Kershaw knives, but I like Kershaw American knives. So, and this is a assisted knife, and I don't mind it because I always liked the blade shape of the Knockout, and this reminded me of the ZT reminded me of the beefy blade. But this why I like this knife. This knife introduced me to Elmax steel, and this is I heard rumor that Kershaw didn't heat treat their Elmax right. Maybe they don't heat treat it right, but this holds a really long. The edge holds really long time, and I believe it's never let me down. I don't think I've personally sharpened this knife ever. I always had it not professionally or just sharpened by somebody I knew, because I really don't like to sharpen knives. So I would send this out and have it sharpened, and I've stropped it, but I've never personally sharpened it. I don't know how Elmax. I don't know if Elmax is hard to sharpen. I couldn't tell you that because I've never sharpened it. But I really love this knife. And this knife is a little bit more abused because I used to carry maybe 365 days a year, and it's held up. I mean, the finish is not too bad. It's not too nicked. Even the pocket clip doesn't look bad. It's just there's a few scrapes on the blade, but for the most part the knife holds up, and I'm pretty sure it's still sharp. Let me just double check it. Yeah, it's still sharp. Oh, trying to cut like two things. So it's still sharp, and I haven't honestly used it in a while. Probably I've never carried it since owning this knife. So about 3 years I haven't carried it. I just took it out for this video. So I don't know quite how to describe this color. It's kind of like a I don't know. It's kind of a brownish color, but it's kind of an ugly color, but I really like it. I love this knife. This is a sentimental knife, and yeah, again, it's a assisted knife. I have so many Kershaw knockouts. I believe I've had 9 of them, but I think I could only find 5 or 6 of them right now. So I've misplaced them over the years. I mean, this is an Elmax, but the standard Knockout came in 14C 28N. So that was the lowest steel, and that's pretty much a good steel. But this is an LMAX. I have some M390 versions and was some sprint run versions, I believe. So I don't know what I was getting at. Anyway, I was just saying, it's a good knife, you know, because they always released it in a good steel. They never treated it like a 8CR or a D2 or something like that. They always used a good steel. So, as I've shown this knife on several times, this is my original. This is the Kershaw 1050, and you know, it was weird that I became a Kershaw fan, not intentionally being a Kershaw fan. I carried this knife through most of the way through high school, and I carried this knife into the Marines and after the Marines. In fact, I think I carried this knife at least 15, 20 years too. I used to have a sheath, the leather sheath that I carried it in, because this is not a light knife. It's not a pocket clip knife. It's a lockback knife. It needs a sheath. But I carried it so much, the leather sheath, and I didn't take very good care of it. I was just abusive as hell, and the sheath got so rotten and dirty and nasty, and I really didn't know how to care for leather, and I didn't even think that I could send the leather out and have it restored. I just threw it away. But I kept the knife because I really love the knife. So this is American made, and made in Oregon, USA by Kai Japan. So this is the original logo of Kershaw's, and again, this is the 1050. You can see I've opened and closed it like hundreds of times. This is kind of a sentimental knife. I remember buying this knife myself, my own money. I probably had a paper. I pretty much had a paper out from, I don't know, 8 to 16 or 17 years of age, and I bought this with my paper route money. And back when, I don't know if you guys remember, because you're probably all younger than me, there was like knife shops in the mall. There was a little knife shop in the mall, and I used to buy knives from them all the time. In fact, I used to take my knives to be sharpened by them too. And no, I haven't been to that mall in 20 years probably. I doubt that the knife shop is there. They probably went the way of the dodo about 20 years ago too. So anyway, this is one of my favorite knives. You know, I mean, it's very sentimental to me. If I lost it, I would probably be upset because I carried it so many years. And before I didn't even know Kershaw was a cool brand. I love the looks of the knife. So back then, I would carry the sheath on my belt all the time. I would carry it in school. I would just throw my shirt over it. So, you could wear your shirt on you, hanging out outside of your pants, and I always had the knife. So, kind of losing on what to say. I mean, just if you, the only person I know that had a similar story on the Kershaw knife, the 1050, was I like to do his Sunday lives, RJ's lives, RJ's knives. You're familiar with him. You have to be. He's a big traditional guy, and I sometimes appear on his Sunday live, and he has the same knife I have. So, and we share stories about how we acquired this knife and how much this knife meant to us. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys go. This video is pretty long, and I just wanted to answer Shane's sentimental open tag. So I'm not going to tag anybody, if anybody feels free to do a sentimental knife story or a video, you know, if you tag me or Shane Edgy American, I believe I'll put it out there on the community page so everybody, what little subscribers I have, will see it. So anyway, if you have a story to tell, if you go read Edgy American's story, he had a really good story, and it kind of made me choke up, and kind of made me share my story on his channel. But it wasn't about the knife. It was about like a great having a great father figure or a great man in your life. So if you're interested, you should just really check out his video. He doesn't, I don't believe he shows any knives, but he talks about it, and it's more like he doesn't own the knives anymore, but he can still have a sentimental knife in your memory because you once owned it, but you don't own it anymore. So I didn't want to do a video of this knife, or a knife that I used to own. I own this, but I have a whole host of other sentimental knives that I don't own anymore because I've lost it or they were stolen from me, but I managed to hang on to this one. So anyway, that's all I got. Take care, Wastelanders.